A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. This is my third lecture on rational drug design, and today our topic is method of variation. Before it, we have discussed a lot about the rational drug design. Then we have discussed method of conjunction and then method of disjunction. Today we will discuss the method of variation. Key concepts of the lectures are the objectives, why we are going to use the method of variations, what are the main objectives of this method, and then here we will discuss drug discovery process and drug discovery cycle, and then we will discuss some examples which are based upon the method of variations, that how this method is helpful for the identification and for the discovery of new chemical entities, new druggable molecules and new drug candidates. We will go through all these concepts, and before I have discussed a lot in Urdu language, and the students, if you cannot understand English, you can also use my that lecture on the YouTube. It is available. I only used Urdu for the understanding of students, but today I will not use a single word of Urdu because this is the need of worthy chairperson. He advised to speak in English. That is why today we will discuss all the things, all the topic in English. The method of variation. This is the explanation. Under this method, a new drug able molecule is developed from a biologically active prototype. Means already biologically active prototype which is present in the market will be used, and this biologically active prototype can act as a druggable molecule, druggable candidate. If we see the advantages, number A, at least one new compound of known activity is found. When we use the method of variation, then one new compounds having known activity is found. Second, the new structure analogues, even if not superior, may be more economical. Means when we are going to discover new structure analogues, then they can be more superior. If they are not superior but they are cost effective, means that they are cheap and easily available. Third point is identical chemical procedure is adapted. Identical chemical procedure is adapted, and hence considerable economy of time, library and laboratory facilities will be used in this method. Then fourth point, screening of a series of congener. Congener means that is the member of the same gene gives basic information with regard to pharmacological activity. Similarly, pharmacological techniques for specific screening may be used effectively. In this slide you have seen 5 different points about the advantages of method of variations, because a lot of advantages are available when we use this method for the identification of new drug molecule. Objectives of the method of variations. The main objectives of the method of variations are to improve potency. Why we are using this method? We need more potent molecules. Potent means the compound which has more drug characters as compared to the already present in the market compounds. Potency is the meaning that it has more function, more action, more specificity as compared to the standard drug. This is called potent. To modify the specific action under this method, we will modify the specific action because drugs can have different actions, because when we'll discuss the drugs that either it has cellular mechanism, either it has biological mechanism, either it has enzymatic mechanism, then there is need to specify the action of a drug. Either it it is used to treat the specific disease, or may it can disturb the functions of other biological system. To improve duration of action, it is very important point. Sometimes we are using the drug 3 times in a day, means the duration of action of drug is very small, means 8 hours. But in some cases you have seen in the market that only one time drug is being taken by the patient because it has prolonged duration of action. Further, this point I would like to elaborate you that if the drug has minimum durations of action, means as the drug is administered in the biological system, then its effects should start. Means when the drug is being administered in the body, then the body should give a response by administering the drugs. That is why we use this method to improve the duration of action, to reduce the toxicity. Sometimes drugs are more toxic. When we use the analogs of the drug which is already present in the market, then the toxicity can be reduced by changing some functionalities, some functional groups, to effect the ease of application or administration or handling. Means to effect the ease of application, administration or handling, it is also a point in which by using this method we can we can uh, uh, we can do that. Administration and handling of the drugs can be made more easily as compared to the already available drug. To improve stability, sometimes drugs are not stable. If we use the method of variation, the stability of the drugs can be increased to reduce cost of production. This is very important point because nowadays drugs are very costly. To reduce the cost of the production, we use method of variation, because under this method, already if the compound is known, means it's all clinical testing has been done, we are using for other system, for other diseases, then the cost of production of the medicine can be reduced by using method of variation. What kind of information obtained after drawing the structure of the compound? Variation of functional groups and their proximity to one another, various probable rotational and spatial configuration, possibility of steric hindrance between various portions of the molecule in different configuration in space. These are some points that what kind of information obtained after drawing the structure of the compounds. When we draw the structure of the compound, which are the important information we got from the compound? Sometimes we see that there is variation in the functional groups, and sometimes we see that the two functional groups are at different positions. Sometimes one is at ortho position, sometimes they are at meta position, sometimes para positions. Then Under this method, when we draw the structure of the compounds, we can easily determine the variation of functional groups, then various probable rotational and spatial configurations. When we draw the structure, then its different rotational and spatial configuration can be easily understand. Possibility of steric hindrance between various portions of the molecule in different configuration space. Then there is possibility of steric hindrance between various portions of the molecule in different configuration in space. When we see sometimes a lot of functional groups decreases the potency, decreases the action of the drug, it may be due to some steric hindrance between various portions of molecules in different configuration space, because when different functional groups are present at different positions, then they can have steric hindrance. Steric hindrance means they hinder to attack on the biological site, and that's why its action can be reduced. So then we got different information when we draw the structure of the compounds. Then there is probability of electronic interaction. Probability of electronic interaction between various portions of the molecule, including inductive effect, mesomeric effect, hyperconjugation, ionizability, polarity, possibility of chelation, asymmetric centers, and Z transformation. These are the all probable electronic interaction between various portions of the molecules with the target. Because when we use a target gene, when we use a enzyme, when we use a protein which is causing disease, and then we interact the compounds, and the interaction can be inductive, can be mesomeric, can be hyperconjugation, there's ionizability, polarity, then there is possibility of chelation. Chelate form this paw-like structure, asymmetric centers, and then Z transformation. Research and development strategies. When we do research in the field of bioorganic and medicinal chemistry, we adopt different strategies to discover new drug molecule. It has been proved beyond any reasonable doubt that the rate of success in drug discovery is exclusively dependent on the ability to identify, characterize novel, patentable, newer target drug molecules, usually termed as new chemical entities, which essentially possess the inherent capability and potential in the management and control of a specific disease ailment, besides being efficacious and safer in character. With the advent of latest technological advancements in the specialized area related to genomics and computational chemistry, an appreciable advancement has been accomplished in R&D strategies. This is very important point, because with the advancement in technology and by the advancement in specialized area such as genomics and computational chemistry, there is an appreciable advancement in the field of research and development strategies. Then there is drug discovery process. It is however pertinent to mention here that a proprietary new chemical entity status, position, and recognition is an absolute must, not only to ensure marketing exclusively but also to aptly justify the huge investment in the ensuring R&D process, thereby making a medicinal chemistry a more or less core element of the entire drug discovery process. The R&D process is a very big process. There is need to follow the SOPs, standard operating procedures of the R&D industry. R&D industry play an important role in each and every field, but in drug discovery and in particularly medicinal chemistry, uh, a more or less element of entire drug discovery process. Interestingly, the drug discovery process may be categorized into four distinct heads. Interestingly, the drug discovery process may be categorized into four distinct heads, namely target identification and selection. This is the first category of drug discovery process, target identification and selection. Then target optimization, there is a need to optimize the target. Then there is lead identification and lead optimization. These are the four major categories of drug discovery process. One is target identification and selection, then target optimization, then lead identification and lead optimization. Factors involve in drug discovery process. Factors involve in drug discovery process: the concerted efforts encompassing various intangible and critical methodologies that ultimately relate to the activities, expertise, wisdom, and integration of the individual scientist directly or indirectly involved in drug discovery process virtually leads to advanced drug discovery profiles. In short, the qualified success in the drug discovery process predominantly revolves around the following cardinal factors, namely articulated project management process, prioritization, well-defined aims and objective, company organization and culture, resourcing modus operandi, prompt decision making factors. These are the major factors which are involved in drug discovery process, because when we are going to discover a new drug, then some factors play their role in the process. One major factor is articulated project management process. Means when we develop a project, when we start a project on a specific disease for the discovery of specific molecules, then there is need to make a team for the success of the project. If you don't have a well trained team, then the project management process will be affected. Then there comes prioritization. Means what is your priority, why you want to do it. Prioritization should be set according to the goals and objectives of the project. Well defined aims and objectives, company organization and culture. Means when you are going to start a project, the company should be recognized and there should be a culture of research environment in the company. Resourcing models means there should be some other resources for the discovery of new drug molecules. Prompt decision making factors, sometimes there is a need to make a decision, because without decision a project cannot be completed. Factors governing drug design. A few cardinal factors governing the efficacy towards the evaluation of drug design includes: the smaller the expenditure of human and material resources involved to evolve a new drug of a particular value, the more visible is the design of the program. Then experimental, animal and clinical screening operations of the new drugs. Relationship between chemical features and biological properties need to be established retrospectively. Quantitative structure activity relationship vary to an appreciable extent in depth and sophistication based on the nature of the evaluation of structure or activity. A purposeful relation of structural variables must include steric factors, electronic features of the compound, functional groups, and in general the molecule as a whole. Because when we develop a structure activity relationship, then we see functional groups, we see electronic features, we see steric factors. Sometimes in general we see whole the molecules, that which part of the molecule is going to play, which part of the molecules is going to interact with the target, so that from that we establish the quantitative structure activity relationship. Then there is another point, factors of drug designing that tend to synthesize a huge number of newer medicinal compounds indiscriminately for exploratory evaluation still prevails, which exclusively reflects the creative geniusness and conceptual function of a highly individualized expression of novelty by a medicinal chemist. Means a trend should be set up to synthesize a library of new chemical compounds for the evaluation of new drug candidates, and this reflects the creative geniusness and conceptual functions of a highly individualized expression of novelty by a medicinal chemist. This is the function of medicinal chemists who play their role by synthesizing new drug molecule. Then there is another factor, introduction of functional groups in a molecule that need not essentially resemble metabolite but also capable of undergoing bonding interactions with important functional groups of biochemical components of living organisms afford an important basis for exploration. Sometimes there is no need to introduce new functional groups in a molecule that need not essentially resemble metabolites but also are capable of undergoing bonding interaction with important functional groups of biochemical components of living organisms afford an important basis for exploration. Disease etiologies and various biochemical processes involved prove useful. Sometimes the disease etiology is very important, that which gene is going to cause the disease, what is the main cause of the disease. This is called disease etiology and various biochemical process, and we have to discover the biochemical process through which disease is caused. By inhibiting by inhibiting that process, the disease can be cured and ill can be overcome. Then there is computational chemistry. It comprised on chemical synthetic methods that make it possible to prepare large number, 10 to thousands or even millions of compounds in a single process. This is computational chemistry. This is the emerging field in the field of drug discovery. It comprised on chemical synthetic methods that make it possible to prepare a large number, tens to thousands or even millions of compounds in a single process. These compound libraries can be made as mixture. These compounds libraries can be made as mixture sets of individual compounds or chemical structure generated by the computer software. Means sometime we used computer software for the synthesis of library of compounds, and then through this is called the computational chemistry, computer aided drug design. And this is the emerging field, new field in the research and development, that people are using computer for and through computer software they generate a big library of compounds, and then from this library they used a software and tools to interact with the target, and then from where the drug discovery process started, that they select the target, then they optimize the target, then they discover the lead compound, and then they optimize the lead compound. This is the discovery process, and computational chemistry play an important role in this drug discovery process. Then there's molecular hybridization. This is a method of which is used in the method of variation for the drug discovery process. Molecular hybridization is a new concept in drug design and development based on combination of pharmacophoric moieties of different bioactive substances to produce a new hybrid compound with improved affinity and efficacy when compared to the parent drug. The molecular hybridization involves the synthesis of strategically design of altogether newer breeds of bioactive agents, either from two or even more compounds having different characteristic features by the aid of covalent bond synthesis. This is molecular hybridization from the concept that molecular hybridization means different molecules come together to form a single molecules. When two molecules means when we are going to combine two molecules, one molecule has one activity and other has other activity. When they combine together, then definitely they will perform a different function. The molecular hybridization techniques an important technique for the drug discovery to discover new chemical entity. Necki in 1886 first conceived interesting cellular principle. He exploited the beneficial properties of phenols and carboxylic acid having antibacterial characteristics into the design of newer drug molecules. He improved pharmacological activities of new drug by means of simple esterification. Means how drugs are going to hybridize. One example is simple esterification. Necki was a scientist. He set a cellular principle. According to this principle, he he did the reaction of phenols and carboxylic acid having antibacterial characteristics into a design of newer drug molecules. When he see that there were improved pharmacological activities of new drug by means of simple esterification, simple esterification can lead a new drug molecule. Examples of molecular hybridization. Necki, again this is the cellular principle which I have discussed in the earlier slides, that he exploited the benefit properties of phenol and carboxylic acid, possessing potent antibacterial characteristics features into the design of newer drug molecule with better and improved pharmacological activity by means of simple esterification. A few typical examples when the hybridization was accomplished, commencing from two bioactive entities, implementation of the full cellular principle occurred as stated on the next slide. Here, this is antibacterial agent streptoniazid, a molecule of streptomycin and a molecule of isoniazid by means of strong double bond between carbon and this is double bond between carbon and nitrogen. With the elimination of a molecule of water, the hybridized molecule exhibit a significant potentiated antibacterial and tuberculostatic agent. This is streptoniazid. One part is isoniazid and the other is streptomycin. This is streptomycin and this is isoniazid. This is isoniazid. This is isoniazid, and they are going to make a bond, carbon double bond nitrogen, and we have obtained a molecule streptoniazid. This has this whole molecule, this hybridized molecule has a potentiated antibacterial and tuberculostatic activity. Then there is antitussive expectorant drug, guacyl phenyl synconinate. It produced when a mole of each of syncofin and guaicol gets hybridized by forming an ester linkage and losing a mole of water. The new product shows an improved antitussive and expectorant activity. Antitussive means antipsychotic property. This is the ester linkage, this is guaicol, and this is syncofin. When they combine together, they give improved antitussive and expectorant activity. Then there is antipyretic analgesic agent. This is the example, quinine acetyl salicylate. The hybridization takes place between a mole of acetyl salicylic acid, aspirin, and a quinine, a potent anti-malarial agent, to lose a mole of water. The resulting hybridized product potentiates the anti-malarial activity along with substantial antipyretic analgesic activity. This is the quinine. This is acetyl salicylic acid. This is acetyl. This is the structure of the quinine, And here again there is ester linkage. This is conine acetyl salicylate. This whole molecule is acetyl. It has potent analgesic antipyretic activity. Antipyretic and analgesic. Conine has antimalarial activity. Salicylic acid has antipyretic activity. When they combine together, then they have potent antipyretic and analgesic activity. There are other method, rigidity and flexibility versus drug design. It has been observed beyond any reasonable doubt whatsoever that the structural relationship invariably affords certainly a molecules complementary prevailing evidently between the bioactive compounds and the probable receptor site. At this point in time, two different situations may usually crop up, namely increased rigidity that may ultimately lead to improved potencies and increased flexibility that may give rise to better and improved activity. These two aforesaid situations shall now be discussed with typical examples so that one may have a better understanding of these aspects wise drug design of newer targeted drug molecule. Increase rigidity. There are a plethora of drug molecules which are inherently flexible in nature that they can assume a wide range of shapes arrangement. Of these structural variants, quite a few are absolutely not so favorably acceptable for reaction at a specific receptor site. Therefore, the design or search for a relatively more rigid structural analog, essentially having the required correct and desired dimensions, must be looked in order to obtain more potent drug substance. Increased rigidity beside the actual distance existence between two vital functional moieties may be almost fixed arbitrarily in rigid molecular structure variant. These restructured and strategically positioned newer targeted drug molecule may be subjected to vigorous and critical examination by the aid of several sophisticated latest physicochemical analytical devices such as X-ray diffraction analysis, optical rotary dispersion, NMR spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy, FTIR spectrometry, and examples of structural logs of acetylcholine, a short-acting cholinergic drug with increased rigidity having 5 or 6 members saturated rings were synthesized and their activities were compared using acetylcholine as the reference drug. Here look into the structure of different compounds. This is modified acetylcholine with 5-membered cyclic ring. This is modified acetylcholine with 6-membered cyclic ring. This is a 5-membered cycle. This is 6-membered cycle, and this is acetylcholine and open chain compounds. Interestingly, either of the two structural analogues A and B can be further resolved into their respective trans and cis isomers, that is spatially rearranged structures as given below. These are the structures when they are rearranged and their spatial arrangements can be changed and then can be easily resolved. These are the different analogues, different compounds with different structures with same activities. This is an open chain compound acetylcholine. This is cyclic ring 6-member. This is 5-member cyclic ring. They all together used as trans and cis isomers, spatially rearranged structures. Increased rigidity. It has been observed that the intra-atomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen atom for cis isomers A and B range between 2.5 to 2.9 angstrom, whereas between the corresponding trans isomers A and B varied between 2.9 to 3.7 angstrom. Furthermore, the relative cholinergic activity of cis isomers were found to be greater than the corresponding trans isomer using acetylcholine as a reference drug. The results of these findings have been summarized in the following table. Therefore, words from certain important clues may be derived with regard to some important functional groups located on the enzymes and existing distance between such moieties. This is a table Here, this is drug acetylcholine. The interatomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen is not known. The relative cholinergic activity is 1. Thus, there is compound 2, a cis isomer. The interatomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen is 2.51 angstrom, and its relative cholinergic activity is 1.43. Similarly, there is a compound 3, a trans isomer. Its interatomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen is 3.45, and its relative cholinergic activity is 1.07. Similarly, there is another compound B cis. Its interatomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen is 2.5, and its cholinergic activity is 1.14. Similarly, a B trans, the interatomic distance between oxygen and nitrogen is 2.9, and the relative cholinergic activity is 1.06. Thus, a cis is found to be almost 50% more active than acetylcholine, and B cis only up to 15% than acetylcholine. However, the corresponding trans isomer of A and B did not show any improvement in their cholinergic activities. It means the interatomic distance plays an important role to increase the activity of the compound. There is another point: increased flexibility. The problem encountered invariably with less flexible, rigid, and compact molecules being that their maneuverability are comparatively much less. In other words, they either possess little or practically negligible capacity to have them rearrange to a more favored conformation that may ultimately give rise to enhanced bioactivity. Examples are propoxyphene is an open chain structure analog having narcotic analgesic activity, whereas its corresponding cyclic analog 2 is almost found to be devoid of pharmacological activity. This is the propoxyphene active. Here this is open chain, while its closed chain propoxyphene cyclic analog is inactive. Means increased flexibility can be understood from these two compounds. These are the analogs, that open chain analog is active while its closed chain analog is not active. Tailoring of drug. With the advent of enormous in-depth knowledge of modern chemistry, the tailoring of drug has become a skillful art that may result fruitful results through specific modes of attack on a drug molecule. Various configurationally and stereochemical changes afford flexibility and overall dimension of a drug molecule. Such alteration may be conveniently achieved through different means and ways, namely ring fission or fusion, formation of lower or higher homologues, introduction of optically active centers, formation of double bonds towards geometrical isomerism, and lastly, introduction of bulky groups towards restricted rotation or removal and replacement of such groups. Alteration of various physical and chemical characteristics through the insertion of newer functional moieties or by the replacement of such groups already present by other that essentially different degree or in type. This type of changes may be effectively brought about by steric replacement, change of orientation or position of given moieties, introduction of polar characters of a given functional groups, or replacement of other groups with different electrical features, and finally such changes with either promote or inhibit the presence of different electronic conditions achieved through inductive effect, mesomeric effect, tautomerism, chelation, or hyperconjugation. This was whole about the method of variation, and we had used different methods to discover new drug molecules. This is the assignment. You have to justify the following statement: drug design aims at developing a drug with a high degree of chemotherapeutic index and action. From the practical viewpoint, it is exploitation of leads wherein rational approaches to drug design have been mostly productive with fruitful results. Discuss the various spectrum of drug design. Elaborate the rational approach to drug design with regard to quantum mechanics, wave mechanics, molecular orbital theory, molecular connectivity and linear free energy concepts. Enumerates the various cardinal objectives of method of variation, giving appropriate example. Bioxidation and acid light and a metabolic conversion of phenylbutazone gave rise to better tolerated drug molecules used frequently and profusely in the therapeutic armamentarium, and you have to explain. This is the assignment for you, and you have to write this assignment in your own words. These are recommended books. You can use these books for your study. These books are very helpful for the medicinal chemistry course, and you can use these books maybe are available online on the internet. If you have any question, you can ask me. And as I have tell you in before that this lecture is in English, and the Urdu version of this lecture is also available on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel. You can also use both version. Means the only objective is that you have to understand easily. Furthermore, there is no difference between Urdu and English. Just here I speaks in English, and in my previous lecture the slides are same. There's no I have not changed nothing. Just I have used English. If you have any question, you can ask me. Allah Hafiz. Good luck.